Hey guys, this is Brian back with part 5 of my At the Gates Let's Play. So, I think our long-term plan is going to be to go and attack Attila the Hun over to the right, but I don't want to do that until I have at least men-at-arms, but likely a few knights. Probably 2 or 3 would be the way to go, given that Attila does seem to have quite a strong army, and we're still quite a ways from being able to produce knights. For one, we need to be able to research that profession, but then we also need a large stockpile of steel weapons, steel armor, war horses, and it also requires that the clan that we train as knights is ennobled, and so that's going to also require a bunch of fine cloth, I believe. So a noble requires 10 fine cloth and 10 armor to ennoble a clan. So we are quite a ways off. I think we are going to have to go and build up more of our settlement here. Probably find out what's to the north, harvest these resources, since our mines here, our coal mine and our iron mine, are both going to degrade in 3 turns. We do have a new clan that's joined us. These guys are disgraced, so they can't be ennobled or trained in social professions. They are handy, and so they would be faster to train in crafting. We are currently training a brickmaker back at the settlement. That's Alwyn here, and the brickmaker will let us turn coal into stone blocks, and stone blocks will let us build structures that don't degrade their resources, so we won't have this problem as with the iron and the coal mine of them degrading and producing fewer till eventually they produce no resources later on. So for example, this wheat farm that we took over from a neutral camp was already degraded. It's now exhausted. The degraded value is much lower than the full production value, and once it's exhausted, it'll produce nothing. So what we'll want to do is move this farmer elsewhere. We can assign him to a new profession or make him farm something new. For example, this olive grove that we recently discovered. Thing is, this guy is currently unhappy, or he's angry actually. His morale is halved, production is reduced by a quarter, and he's not getting any experience. His desire that'll stop him from being angry is to have a settled profession. So we do have a settled profession in agriculture where he already has 5 experience points being researched now. That's oil pressers, which will let us convert some of these olives into oil, which could be pretty good for us. We'll be able to heal up some of our units, combining oil with cloth, and also probably sell that over at the caravan for more money than just selling olives alone. So that could be an option. For now, I think it's fine with him just producing 0.3 wheat, since we don't have a better job for him, and I don't really want to keep him around as angry. I would be happy to fulfill his desires here. We do have this hunter who I had just getting around to the south. We'll just make sure, may as well fully scout the coastline. The spearman had recently chased down this digger. We've recovered him, and we'll go and have him identify what resources are to the north. And this spearman, I suppose, could head up north as well. We'll just have him hang out over by the coal mine, and eventually I think we'll move the settlement over so that we can go and build some structures over by either of these resource deposits. And the caravans arrived, and let's go finish. Okay, so this reaper has arrived to identify this deposit, so let's work on that. We do have that rancher headed over to these horses, and we'll go construct a horse pasture. The horse pasture, so the horse ranch increases the size of the herd over time. I guess if we really want, I think the horse pasture will be fine for now. And once we have a bunch of stone, such as now that we have that brickmaker online, we're making 2.5 stone blocks per turn. Perhaps we'll make a stone pasture over at these horses if we want a lot of horses. But for now, I think just constructing the regular horse pasture will be fine. Horses, pastures around animals don't degrade the animals. Oh, it does slowly deplete the resources. So I don't think animals aren't automatically depleted. So like if we use them, okay, so if we use the animals for like making parchment or meat, they will be degraded. But if we just use them for making cheese, they won't be degraded. So I think, yeah, am I researching cheese making? Do I have cheese making? I do like the idea of making cheese from horse milk. I feel like, okay, we don't have cheesemakers yet. That's something we'll work on once we have tinkerers online. And tinkerer, I do have some spare people that I can assign. So that clan member that we got last turn, this guy would likely get upset if we didn't have him in a crafting profession. So I don't know if I want to make him a tinkerer, but we can maybe reassign one of our bards to be a tinkerer. Let's see. So this guy is currently 5 families, and this guy is 3 families. I think right now I want to go and be able to research some of these professions more quickly, in which case I might switch this guy out from being a bard. The bards are currently making us a bunch of fame, which is getting us more clans more quickly. So maybe I don't want to switch that away just yet. I do have some other professions that could potentially be good for generating knowledge. So we could research and train priests. We could also research and train guild masters, or rather feast makers, which would get us quite a bit of fame per turn. 10 fame per turn versus the 6 from bards. I think I do want to switch one of them over, but that's only if I don't have another profession that I want to train more immediately. Meanwhile, this guy I think should go and identify these resources. So we'll identify the stone and the animals, and then maybe move our settlement over here and start setting up buildings to the north. We've got the caravan. I do want to build my food stockpile back up, but I don't think there's anything else I need urgently, except for perhaps some stone to set up a more permanent structure to harvest olives here. But I don't need that right away either, and by the time I have someone over to set up that olive farm, we'll probably have made enough stone on our own. So I think I'll just buy, hopefully the caravan has some food available. They've got honey. We can buy a bunch of honey. Let's buy 10 of this. 26 is a good size stockpile. Don't think I need anything else. We could buy a bunch of steel weapons and steel armor, but I think for now I'd rather just hang on to the gold. Upgrading the caravan would cost... Oh, okay, we already have the caravan maximally upgraded, so I think we're in good shape here. We'll just wait for the next caravan to come, and we'll see what we need then. So, if we can train up someone, our one clan wants to be in a crafting profession, so that's either a logger or a brickmaker for us right now. I don't think we need more wood production. I would be happy to build up a larger supply of stone bricks. or stone blocks. So yeah, let's go train another brick maker. And then we'll convert one of our bards to be a lore keeper. Our coal mine has degraded and will soon be shut down. So we went from making 4 coal per turn to 2.5 coal per turn. That's still a decent amount of production, so I'm happy to keep that running for another little while. But once we figure out what these resources are, we'll probably move those miners over to these resources, and if possible, make those buildings out of stone so that they don't degrade. We've identified a flax field. Oh, this is perfect. So we'll have a source of oil and a source of... I think we can make cloth out of flax. Let's quickly check that. We can make oil from flax and cloth, I believe, which means we'll always have resources on hand to heal our units. Will be really important if we want to press any sort of sustained military campaign. So yeah, oil pressers can make oil out of flax and olives. And let's see, which profession makes cloth? We've got weavers who can make cloth out of flax or wool. Yes, this will be really good. We also have tailors who can make even more cloth. Oh yeah, and of course, if we want to get into some of these more advanced professions, we're definitely going to have to start getting our tinkerers online to generate significantly more knowledge per turn. Okay, so the iron mine has also degraded. It's dropped its iron production down to 2.5 iron per turn. And we'll have this guy go and inspect this plant to figure out what that is. I think things are rolling along pretty nicely. This is definitely the most productive settlement I've had so far. We've got a brickmaker online. Our brick production is currently 4.6 per turn, and it'll eventually stop when we run out of coal. We can also turn our wood into coal if we want to keep on making these stone blocks, but at 1.5 our stack of 59 will last for a little while. Okay, this spearman, I think I want to have him go and explore for a little while. It's November, so it'll be winter soon. Maybe I'll just have him poke over to see if the Huns are doing anything suspicious, and then I'll have him come home before winter cuts off his supply. Okay, so now let's retrain one of these guys to be a bard, tinkerer. Yes. Let's go. Wait, can't train right now. Do I still need to research tinkerers? No. Settlements idle. Train a profession. Do I not have enough tools? I need 20 tools. And the caravan's not coming back for another 9. Okay, so should have bought tools when the caravan was here. We can also potentially make tools. Have I researched the blacksmith? No. I might do that after oil pressers, or we can wait a little longer, just keep on recruiting more clans. That would also be completely fine. Okay, so we'll just produce treasure instead of training up any of our clans into new professions. Start identifying this particular resource. We can now train oil pressers. What I want to know is if we're able to convert our olives to oil if we're currently at negative food production. Let's see if we have a mouse over that shows us what our production is. Not producing any food. Oh, okay, so our olive production is currently offline because it is winter now. And this guy is probably out of supply or will be soon. But maybe we'll have him go and have a quick look at what's happening out here. That's the flax field. We could gather some of that flax. Oh, we have a lot of flax. Okay, we'll send the Reaper up here so that we can identify the 3 mystery resources here. We'll move our settlement there eventually. And then once we're done here, we'll probably just go and collect the flax, and we'll set up some permanent structures. We'll set up a flax farm and an olive farm here once we have enough stone. We currently have 12 stone. I think those permanent structures require 20 stone. So we will need some farmers eventually. We'll probably retrain this Reaper to be a farmer once we've identified this particular resource. Keep on making treasure, and maybe a scribe is what I want. That's 25 turns though. I don't have anyone I want to retrain to make the tools. Maybe this new clan that's arriving in 2 turns, those guys can be a blacksmith, they'll make up a bunch of tools, and that'll be faster than waiting for the caravan to arrive. Okay, this spearman surprisingly isn't running out of supply. There's plenty of supply here, even though it appears to be winter. It's cold. Interesting. Okay, well, we can keep on exploring for now then if our units aren't out of supply. Keep on going with the treasure production. And this hunter, we're going to want... I wanted this hunter to identify this animal, so that'll be fine. We've got a new clan. These guys are fastidious. Their training time is longer, but they have more movement and more power. Resource production is increased. Oh. Maybe this guy will be our flax farmer. Yeah, I think I want a lot of flax. Since it is pretty flexible, it can be made into oil or cloth, and is also food. So that could be really good. He's also reclusive. Time training for active professions is halved. Cannot be trained in social professions. Alright, no, this is fine. I think I like the idea of this guy being a farmer. Although, getting tools... how long would it take? So we have to wait a turn to finish researching blacksmiths. Training him as a blacksmith, especially since he is... training time is doubled. By the time he's all trained up and then we make the tools, it's probably better just to wait for the caravan to arrive. Let's train him as a farmer, and then we'll build a flax farm. Yeah, that sounds good. 6 turns to train him as a farmer. It probably would have been 6 turns to train him as a blacksmith as well, so I'm happy with this choice. If we can get a 50% increase in resource production, I think that'll be great. So we'll identify this deposit. And okay, so now we're running into a supply shortage. Let's come on home. Don't need to lose hit points on our 1 spearman. Reaper will identify this deposit. And over here we've got a field of wheat. Yeah, I think moving the settlement over here will be really good for us. But before we do, I do want to get this olive farm online just to the south of the settlement. I'm not sure if once we pack up our settlement, it'll be within our zone of control, so I want to make sure I build that building before we move our borders. Can now train blacksmiths, but that's fine. Ooh, we just identified a large flax field down here. Ooh, we've got a lot of flax sources. This is great. Okay, so this guy will go back and train up. Oh no, no, no. Who did I? Ugh, no. Ah, all the units. Okay, you stay where you are. You go back to that animal herd. This reaper I want to bring back to the settlement to train as a farmer. Okay, that's good. But if we do have all of these sources of olives and flax, perhaps training someone as a tiller rather than making oil right away, we could double our production of olives and flax. I like that too. And yeah, let's yeah, I think doubling our production of those resources is what I want to do for now, since we don't need the oil right away. At least I hope we won't. I hope we don't get into a fight with the Huns before we're ready. It would definitely make things interesting, though. Okay, this guy's got a message for us. Alright, so one of the other tribes is a little less happy with us than they used to be, the Goths over to the left. We've received 40 gold or treasure from Rome. That's probably a good thing. And our spearman, I'll just have him go and protect that coal mine. We'll have our reaper identify this plant. And once this caravan arrives, we're also going to go and increase our clan limit, which means, okay, currently we I think I might take this time to switch one of our bards over to a lore keeper. Oh yeah, we're still training that farmer. Okay, once that farmer's done, we might make that switch. This guy can dig in, and we'll identify these animals. Enter the settlement. Just hang out there for now. We'll train her as a farmer as well. We'll get a stone olive farm and a stone flax farm online. Yeah, we'll have 40 stone soon. This will be good. Okay, our fastidious farmer is all trained up. I think I'll put them on. I don't think it makes. Okay, so there's the large flax field and the flax field. I'm not sure if the large flax field will produce more flax per turn than a regular flax field. Let's see if we can fortify. Yeah, we'll fortify this horse pasture, which might hopefully expand our borders to the large flax field. Let's give that a try. Fortify, and then assuming that's going to work out nicely, we'll send this guy over. Oh man, he's got so much movement too. 4 movement. Okay, we'll send him over to this flax field, and we've got the caravan. So we want a bunch of tools. Let's see how many we can afford. We could buy up to 30. Let's bring our total tools up to 30. And we also want a bunch of cloth, although we'll have to sell something. What do we have a lot of? We got a lot of iron. We've got a fair amount of stone as well. Okay, let's sell 20 stone. And we'll buy as much cloth as we can afford for now. Which is not a lot. Okay, so we've got 10 cloth, which is enough to increase our clan limit, so that's good. And then, do I want another farmer, or do I want a lore keeper? Let's go tinkerer in 1 turn, and a farmer in 3 turns. Let's get that tinkerer online now. Train this guy in just 1 turn. Sounds good to me. Alright, so that's where we'll end part 5. I'll see you guys in part 6.